Hello and welcome to In Stitches. This is part 2 of a two-part video series where I show how to fix the problem where the needle bar has become disengaged from the needle bar drive mechanism in behind here on this Bernina 1090. Also covers models 1130, 1230 and the likes. I'm sure there's more, but basically if your machine looks like this here and it has the basting function, there is a possibility that the basting function little latch in here can become seized. Now in part 1 I showed how to unseize the mechanism and free it up. Just quickly, coming in through the front of this slot here is a quick and reasonably easy way of freeing up the latch so that it functions properly and the needle bar drives correctly. It's a reasonably common issue on this model and the models like it. So today I'm going to show you how to get in from behind here in case you're having trouble accessing the latch through the front here. If you're finding it difficult or impossible to do that, we can access the same mechanism via the rear of the machine. So today I'm going to show you how to take the side panel, hand wheel and the rear panels off to give you better access, and while you're in there you can also do some more in-depth cleaning if need be. So let's just start by getting the side panel off. First of all, take the hand wheel off. You can just get possibly a fingernail, which I've just trimmed so I can't get them in there. But if we get just a plastic spudger, we can just remove the cap there off the hand wheel, and we can remove this screw here. Sometimes takes a little bit of effort to stop the hand wheel from turning. Just remove that screw. And the reason I'm doing this again, this video, I've done a video on this subject already quite a while ago now, and I wasn't overly happy with it for a few reasons. One was that I didn't show that you could easily unseize the mechanism through the front, you know, reasonably quickly if possible. I showed that last, and I sort of wondered whether it would be better to show it first. And also I didn't show how to properly tighten the rigidity panel on the rear, which I'll show you in this video. And also had a quick look back at that video just recently, and yeah, it's some of those old videos I did are pretty manky. I noticed that some of the shots were out of focus for a little bit there, and my old camera wasn't that great really. It used to focus okay most of the time, but sometimes it would just defocus and stay that way for quite some time. So this new camera is a lot better, and obviously the audio is improved as well, which is always a bonus. That's thanks to my patrons really, and helping to support the channel, and I can afford to, you know, buy new gear, better cameras, better microphones, things like that. Always makes a difference. So thank you to my patrons there. Now I think there's just the one screw. We might as well take this. There's another screw down here for the back panel. This one here. That one there is just for the side panel. This one here is for the back panel. Yep, I just have to take that one there out as well. That's it. These two here. That one as well. And then that panel should just pull off. There's a couple of clips at the back here, just like that. Just a note, make sure your machine is unplugged before you do this. There's dangerous voltages and behind this panel here if the machine's still plugged in. So let's go ahead and undo these back panel screws here. I also might be able to get you a better view also from behind here at the latching mechanism as well. It's quite difficult to film that through that little slot in the front of the machine. So this might shed some more light on the subject here. So that panel there just pops off. That. We need to flip this electronic panel down, power supply here, and there's 3 up here. These are pretty difficult to get wrong. They're color coded and sized. Just one screw here, and then just give that a pull. Don't bother disconnecting these here. That should allow it to hinge down there. Just these 3. Just disconnect these 3 here. Okay. So down like that. Okay, and that exposes the rigidity panel here, which we need to remove. And what I didn't show in the original video is there is a specific sequence for doing up these screws here, and I didn't know that at the time, so that's why, one of the reasons why I wanted to redo this video, as I can show you that when I put it back on here. So I'll go ahead and remove these screws holding the rigidity panel on here. Just before I remove all of the screws here, I'll remove these, the circlip here, and that is to do with the foot lifter, knee lever foot lifter. Just remove that little circlip there, and that will allow this point here to disconnect, and then I can just carry on undoing these screws here. Just the remaining 3. That top right screw, that's a longer screw than the rest. That's the last screw there. Okay, and then the rigidity panel can be removed there, and that gives us good clear access to the workings of the top of the arm there. So what I'll do now is try and get you a better view in here of the latch mechanism. Okay, I'm just overexposing a little bit here just so you can see in the darker recesses of this machine here. So where my tweezers are coming through is the slot in the front of the machine that I showed in part 1. And if we have a look behind the spring here, you'll see that black little lever there. That's the latch in question. And down here, you might just be able to see, I'll just try and swing the machine slightly. Down here, that's the hinge point for the latch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the lever back with my tweezers. You can't see it because it's in behind that spring. But if I push the lever back, you'll see that the needle bar drive is disengaged, and we'll get a better view of the latch here. There is the latch just here, so I'm turning the hand wheel here. That's the needle bar drive mechanism there that you can see, and here's the latch working just here. That's the part that sticks there, that there. So you can see that's quite free there now, but you can see how that works. Okay, so it's disconnected at the moment. So when I turn the hand wheel, the needle bar drive will go right down to its bottom there and start to come back up. And actually, if I turn it in reverse, it might be easier to see, but effectively when it comes back up again, it'll latch onto the needle bar. So before it latches, I can show you the needle bar. That's the needle bar there. So I'm just pulling down on the needle there, and we'll see it'll latch like that, and now it's driving the needle bar like so. Yeah, when the basting function's enabled, there's a mechanism that comes, protrudes slightly, and this latch hits it or slides against it and pushes the latch back like that and disengages the needle bar like that, and then come back up. It'll latch the needle bar again just there and drives the needle bar. Pretty clever. Disconnected. Yep. Just thought I'd give you a better view from behind there, and while I'm in here I'll go ahead and service the machine, and then I'll show you how to install the rigidity plate. Okay, time to put the rigidity panel back on. Just feed the wires through this hole here, and then it's a good idea to line up this foot bar here, the knee lifter presser foot bar there, and just come across and line those two there. There's a little pin that comes through a hole in this lever here. Just get one screw in there to hold this temporarily in place. That's the longest screw, top right corner here. Just loosely do that up there. Just put a couple of screws in maybe just to hold this panel in place here while we get this circlip E-clip on here. Okay, that's good there. Now let's go ahead and just start these screws here, and this is the point where we want to think about tightening these screws in a sequence here. We'll just get them in loosely. Okay, and the key to this rigidity panel is to start the tightening of the screws at the screw here that's below the that's the right hand side of this handle support here, looking from the rear. So that's the first screw to tighten up there. Okay, and then it's just a matter of working clockwise from there. And that sequence is quite important. If it's not done in sequence like this, the mechanisms in here can bind up. And that's the last one there. Okay, we can go around and double check that one tight. Yep. Yep. Okay, that's good, and then we can just go ahead and put the machine back together. Now, I did show this in the original video, but I think a lot of it was out of focus, as I say, so let's do it again in focus, hopefully. That one there. By the way, I did have the hand wheel on temporarily just so that I could turn the machine easily while I was demonstrating that latch to you. And then we can just get this rear panel on here. Guide the foot lift lever through. Try not to lose any screws. I tested the latch in the first part of the video series, so I know it works. I won't go through testing that again. And I'll just get these done up, get the side panel on there once I've got these done. Right, that's those screws done up there. And then pop the side panel on. Just like that. We can put the knobs back on here. That's our drop feed and our power switch there. We've got a screw for in behind the hand wheel here. There. That screw there. We can pop the hand wheel on. There's only one way that goes. There's a flat surface there that matches a flat on the hand wheel there, on the shaft. There. Pop the end screw on. Tighten that one. Pop the cap back on, and then just the two screws to put in underneath here. Yeah, that one goes there. We'll get the longer screw here. That one there. And if you haven't seen these, they're pretty neat. They're just a split screwdriver, and when you push this tube down, it expands the end of the screwdriver there. Split, so it grips to the side of the slot. Pretty handy. It grips the screw nicely. I think that was one of the first tools that I ever got, along with my original set of tools when I started my apprenticeship. So yeah, it's been with me for a while. There we go. So that's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, thank you to my patrons on Patreon for your support, and we'll see you in the next one.